In a world obsessed with showcasing luxury cars, designer brands, and lavish lifestyles, could appearing poor actually be a hidden superpower? We live in a world that often prizes appearances, especially on social media. But if you're able to stay grounded and keep a low profile, your bank account and your net worth will grow very quickly. What if I told you that looking poor might be one of the cleverest decisions you'll ever make? Because the truth is, some of the richest, most powerful minds on this planet don't appear like they have money at all. Is it important to look poor? Behind the front of simplicity lies an unshakable base of wealth and wisdom. And today, you will also know exactly why that matters, and how it might just change your life. You can take the live example of Warren Buffett, the billionaire who still lives like a regular guy. He still lives in the same house he bought way back in 1958. Most billionaires buy fancy mansions, but Buffett loves his old home and honestly, he sees no reason to move. He doesn't drive luxury cars either. He usually drives a decent, comfortable car. He also eats simple meals. Buffett believes in saving first, then spending what's left. That mindset has helped him build a fortune of over $100 billion. Here are 5 powerful reasons why staying low-key might just be your greatest money move. You know, it's easy to fall into the trap of always wanting more. No matter what we achieve, there always seems to be something else just out of reach. This cycle can leave us feeling like satisfaction is always one step away. You land your dream job. You buy the car you always wanted. You upgrade to a luxury apartment. For a moment, you feel successful, accomplished, satisfied. But then, your coworker buys a better car. Your friend gets a bigger place. Suddenly, what made you happy now feels average. This isn't a flaw in your mindset. It's how our brains are wired. It's called the hedonic treadmill, the psychological trap where we adapt quickly to new gains, and then crave more just to feel normal again. Just imagine a treadmill you run as fast as you can to accumulate all the riches you can, yet you remain stuck at your natural and usual state of happiness. Because the riches you gain will simply raise your expectation and leave you no better off than you were before. A 2010 study by Princeton University researchers found that happiness, as measured by daily emotional experiences, increased with income. But this increase leveled off at around $75,000 per year. This led to the popular idea that money could buy happiness up to a certain point. Additional income has very little impact on their overall happiness. Why? Because once your basics are covered, food, shelter, safety, happiness becomes less about more and more about meaning. You don't need the latest iPhone, luxury watch, or flashy car to be fulfilled. You just need to stop chasing what doesn't actually satisfy you. The illusion of success is a prison. Years ago, I met a guy who looked like he had it all. Designer suits, German cars, luxurious vacations. But when I finally got close, he confessed something that completely changed my perspective. He was actually just in huge debt, all to showcase his life publicly. Socially, he had these golden handcuffs that bound him to stay in the same posture of luxury. And to keep up that image, he had to spend even more, with low or minimal income actually coming into his pockets. Here, this quote goes perfectly. I've built a life I can't afford, just to impress people I don't even know. When your identity is tied to your image, you're not free, you're trapped. You become a performer in a show that just never ends. I know someone who ditched a 6-figure job in New York and moved into a small cabin in Oregon. He started over, focused on learning, building, and investing. 2 years later, he runs a thriving online business and lives completely debt-free. He chose to look broke for a while to become rich later. Let's talk about freedom. If your rent is $3,000, your car loan is $900, and your lifestyle demands constant cash, this means you are living a paycheck-to-paycheck life. The fact is that you don't own your life. Your bills do. The moment you lose your job or miss a paycheck, everything crumbles. A modest lifestyle isn't a lack of ambition. It's a strategy for resilience. A study by the American Psychological Association found that 72% of Americans feel regularly stressed about money. There is a bigger gap between what you earn and what you spend. To overcome this, you just have to stop splurging on the item that you don't need much. Another article from The Currency shows that nearly 30% of Americans feel that they overspend on luxuries and comforts for themselves. Travel, clothing, and accessories are, the splurges most likely to spark joy. So, travel at $155 and fine dining at $138 are actually the most expensive non-essentials that respondents spend on each month. You want freedom from this? Well, just increase the gap between income and expense. Just, spend that money on yourself, create an emergency fund, and learn a new skill that will help you become richer in the future. Or we can just use the debt snowball method, where we make a debt repayment strategy by prioritizing paying off debts with the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rates. Here's something most people won't tell you. Truly rich people don't need to prove it. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958. Keanu Reeves takes the subway. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same hoodie almost every day. Why? Because when you know who you are, you don't need others to validate it. You just attract real people, real relationships, real partnerships, when you're honest about who you are. The study, published in Nature Human Behavior by Princeton University, suggests that judgments about a person's competence can be made within 1/10 of a second, primarily based on their appearance. These quick judgments are often influenced by factors like clothing, eye contact, and posture. A 2023 dating trends survey by Pew Research found that over 48% of respondents admitted that they have exaggerated their financial status on first dates, which again is a live example of splurging, debt trap, or you can say it's all domino effect. As one anonymous quote goes here very perfectly, wear your old shoes, drive your simple car, let people underestimate you. There's power in being unseen. Looking rich keeps you poor. You all may be aware of the domino effect. A domino effect is the cumulative effect produced when one event sets off a series of similar or related events, basically a kind of chain reaction. For example, when a person gets promoted, he plans to buy a new car or home. Let's say he buys a car. The moment he purchases that new car, it triggers new insurance, higher gas costs, and expensive maintenance. That one upgrade, it doesn't stop there. It creates a domino effect of higher spending, which, leads to more financial stress. And all these events lead to a debt trap. A debt trap starts with borrowing to meet financial obligations, often due to high interest rates or fees. This borrowed money is then used to pay off existing debts, which, honestly, just further increases the overall debt burden. A Charles Schwab survey found that 59% of Americans feel pressured to spend like their friends. In reality, they look rich, but are actually broke. Here we can say that trying to look rich is a direct example of the domino effect. And honestly, it's the fastest way to stay poor. Real freedom is being able to say no, not just look successful. The more you try to look successful, the more you lock yourself into a lifestyle you just can't afford to pause. Remember, it's perfectly okay to lead a life that doesn't mirror the highlight reels often showcased on social media. Authenticity and genuine connections, they hold far more value than superficial impressions. Much of what we see online is really just a polished version of reality, often leaving out the struggles and imperfections that actually make us human. Chasing these illusions can, honestly, drain our energy and divert us from our own personal growth journey. Instead, focus on nurturing your mind, advancing your career, and building meaningful relationships. Seek mentors who inspire you to be your authentic self, not just replicas of internet personas. In a world where everyone is trying to be noticed, the smartest strategy is to become silently unstoppable. Grow your wealth, not your wardrobe. Build your empire, not your image. Chase freedom, not followers. So the next time someone asks why you don't show off your success, smile and tell them, because real power doesn't need to prove itself. If this message hit home, check out our video on cultivating inner strength, the secret to building wealth. Please smash that like button, subscribe for more bold truths, and also comment about what you feel for smarter money moves and how to build a life of real wealth from the inside out. Thanks for watching, and remember, quiet confidence always wins. See you in the next video.